Welcome back to Real Estate with Alan. Let's talk about why commercial rates fell down by over 7% in just the last month and over 15% almost in just the last few months, and why right now is the worst time in history to be buying any kind of multi units. And we'll talk about exactly why that time might be very soon, February or March, but not today. That's why you need to start saving some money up, and we'll talk about where to buy it and how to buy it. And we'll talk about how to get your first home as well. Let's also talk about why investors are holding off and why they're waiting for that. I believe is going to be either a February or a March takeoff where we really get the best bottom prices. Now let's also talk about why the CPI and PPI rally that you've seen in the stock market over the last, I'd say, week or so, especially from last Thursday, that's not going to sustain and it's going to pull back. And then you're going to see real estate crumble down. And you really, really want to get ready right now. At least get $3,000 to $10,000 on the sidelines to get yourself a multi-unit property, a rental property, when these prices come down. And let's also talk about why bond and CD yields, once they go up over 4%, that's going to create a bit of chaos in the entire real estate market. And then let's talk about how too much inventory could potentially lead to a catastrophe. All right, let's get into it. All right, bro, let's take a look at the commercial property index here. So we've actually seen, let me take a look at my chart here. We're down about 7% in the last 3 weeks. And we're looking over here, it says property prices are down 13%. Newport Beach, California, this is as of November 4th, the Green Street Commercial Property Price Indices decreased by 7% in October. And rising interest rates have caused property prices to decline by over 13%. And this doesn't even include all the data from, believe it or not, I mean, once we get the data from November and December, this is probably going to be somewhere in the upwards of 20%. So it's a simple story. The higher yields on treasury bonds equals higher cap rates, said Peter Rutherford. And let's take a look at that. So if once we get right here and you see this 10 years go to about 4%, I think we're going to see another 10, and we're going to go well above that. I believe we're going to be somewhere at 4 or 4.2 in the next couple of weeks. But once we get there, you're going to see another 10 to 20% pullback in this pricing. So right now, my suggestion is those of you that want to buy your first home or your first rental, start saving up money everywhere you can. Work as many hours as you can, because if you get the opportunity to buy one of these properties at like half off, and then eventually you get to refinance it and take a cash equity out, you're setting yourself up for a very beautiful, like stress-free life. And I'll give you an example. Let's say you purchase a property for maybe $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 in Indiana, and you put another $4,000 or $5,000, do a little light reno on it, renovate it, and then that property goes up about $100,000 over the next 12 to 24 months. And now you do a cash equity withdrawal from there. You take that money, take about $100,000 out, and you get a second and a third property. Now you have 3 properties that are generating you revenue for the rest of your life. On top of that, all the money and the federal government and the IRS, they love people that own rental properties and own homes more than anything. You can tax deduct those properties then for 27 and a half years. Okay, and then even do bonus depreciation and really, really set yourself up where you end up in a situation like Donald Trump, where you spend decades and decades of your life making a lot of money and never paying any taxes. So let's take a look over here. This is the Green Street Commercial Property Price Index. Okay, and so you can see over here from all the properties, 20%. His retail offices are 17.5%, and apartments are 15%, and healthcare is another 15%. So this is incredible. And let's take a look over here. Switching over 1/3 of United States small businesses are unable to pay in full for their October rent. This is unbelievable. Imagine 33% of these small businesses are not able to pay. And it's inflation. It's just everything that's happening. They're going to get hit with bigger taxes next year. It's going to get a whole lot worse. So you have to prepare yourself. Do not be purchasing any properties right now. Right now is the time to actually be buying stocks. And we're gonna switch over to buying real estate. I'd say in the next 90 days or so. So really, really try to figure out how much money you can save when you do your taxes. If you get any kind of a refund back come January, you want to save all that money on the side for a real estate property that is potentially going to be half off very, very shortly here. So apartment demand unexpectedly fell during its busiest season. According to a new report, the third quarter of every year is historically the busiest for apartment rentals, but demand fell this year, according to RealPage. So, I mean, it's getting worse for these owners, especially these owners that like small mom and pop and family individuals that were trying to buy to get that rental unit and really didn't understand that you have to not time the markets perfectly, but just get close. And so a lot of these people that bought in the last, I'd say, 60 to 90 days, they're gonna be upside down, and these properties are gonna end up losing them a ton of money, and they're gonna end up getting offloading them. You're gonna see more inventory hit the markets, and you're gonna see most likely foreclosures. You're gonna see short sales, and those are gonna be the opportunities you really want to wait for, because it's not logical. If you take a look at the history of the United States, and if properties go up a certain percentage, right, every year on average, and then you see them skyrocket 100%, 200% over the last 2 years, it's not logical not to think that you're going to see another 50% pullback. Okay, and that's the same story. If you look historically, when you purchase a new vehicle, that vehicle loses on average $7,000 the second you drive it off the lot. And that's really why it happens. Now it's a used vehicle the second you drive it off. Well, what we've seen over the last couple of years is people are paying $10,000 or $15,000 over sticker price. So if you bought a car over sticker price and now it falls right back down to what its real MSRP is, you're already $15,000 upside down on this vehicle. And from there, it's going to drop down that other additional 7,000 that was supposed to, that instantly happens, plus the depreciation that normally happens on specific vehicles. You'll never even be able to refinance this loan. And then boom, there goes a repossession, there goes a foreclosure. And those are the times where you want to have cash on the sidelines to take advantage of buying a lot of these rental units, buying your first home. And maybe if you want a new car, wait until the market gets overflooded with all of these repossessions. So it's the first time the rental technology platform has recorded ever in history a third quarter drop in the 30 years it's been tracking the metric. This is how insane it's getting. So just be aware of what's happening and be ready to take advantage. I mean, this is going to be, I believe, once we come out of this and you're not setting yourself up where you're buying in the stock market, you're buying in the real estate market, you may be setting yourself up for the best future you could possibly ever have. We're getting there. Asking rents, which had already been growing at a slower pace at the start of the year compared with last year, dropped in September for the first time since December 2020. First time in the last 2 years. And take a look at over here, multifamily vacancy rates. Okay, they went from 4.7 to 5.4%. So people are buying these multifamily units. They're buying these rental properties, and there's just less and less people that are interested. And there's more vacancies, which means they have a unit, it's empty, it's sitting empty, and nobody's even interested in it. So 12-month rent growth has gone from 10.4% to 5.7%, literally cut in half, which is unbelievable. Now, industrial vacancy rates, they make sense. Okay. And then office vacancy rates went from 12.1 to 12.4, which is again also shocking. So just be ready. And now let's take a look at this is actually where I was getting the data from, which is National Association of Realtors. So multifamily housing is an increasingly popular option for homeowners of all ages, not just your stereotypical young couple and older adults. Multifamily housing comes in many shapes, and it's now taking a massive hit. Again, those of you that are interested, I will be posting actual spreadsheets where you can enter your income, where you can enter all your data, and you can figure out what you can afford, what you can't afford, and what you should be buying and what price range. Again, if you are interested, make sure you're subscribed to the channel and then switch that bell notification icon to all, because I do send out alerts on opportunities to buy for the stock market, the crypto market, for real estate. And again, as long as you get that bell notification switched to all, you will get those updates. And I'll be posting those spreadsheets that you can either open up on Pages in your Mac, or you can open up in Excel and then enter all your data and figure out how you can set yourself up for some serious success that's about to come with these mega deals that are coming in the next 90 days. Again, thank you for watching it. Take care.